is Johnny Phillips with the Junior Achievement of New Jersey, where we prepare students to succeed in the global economy.
And I am Stacy Ann Barnett. I am currently at Merck. So I've been at Merck now for roughly about 4 months. Um, and before that, I was actually in public accounting. I worked for Grant Thornton for about 3 years in the financial services industry. Uh, and prior to that, I actually attended Queens College, City University of New York,
Okay.
where I studied accounting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Stacy, thank you for taking some time to sit and talk with me for a little bit. And thank you for sharing some of your prior experience. And we can touch on your education in a little bit, but I want to ask if there's any skills or any pieces of knowledge you learned from some of your prior jobs that you feel is applicable to what you do now in Merck.
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually in MCAS at Merck, where we do a lot of audits. So I think that just 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 being able to analyze, I think analytics, and in this day and age, there's a lot of software for data analytics, but even your ability to be able to analyze information, data, make sense of it, has been very important in my role before, and just coming here to Merck, just being able to let the numbers kind of speak to you and make sense of it. Yeah.
That's really important, right? So data analytics is one of the growing fields for today's young people. Big data is going to run a lot of what happens in the future. So it's definitely a very relevant skill and something that, none of us should really shy away from at this time because, it's coming. So thank you for sharing that. Now you mentioned you went to Queens College, right? So would you mind reflecting on your experience studying accounting there and how that brought you forth into your career?
Sure. So right. So like I said, I attended Queens College. Great, great city college, if you may. Queens College, fortunately, was actually one of those city colleges that actually had dormitories. What? So it's a different experience from like going to Baruch or maybe Kings County or whichever other city university. But great experience, great community, great citizenry. I made a lot of great relationships there. People that I currently keep in contact with. I remember even being in the city at a client at my former employer, and running into people and reconnecting with people from school. So just being able to build a solid network is one of the great things that I walked away with from Queens College. Just an overall great professors. They really encourage you. Great environment to be in. It really fosters learning and going in the direction that you want to go. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So I feel like we don't always understand the difference between like private colleges and city colleges and places, public colleges and state colleges, state schools. So it's interesting to learn about and hear about the learning experience in different places and how you can potentially use your environment in your city as a part of that learning experience. So, you have the dorms, but you're also in a city college that had some of that feel where you can continue to lose your outside.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing that. It's really
Exactly.
important, something that more people should take advantage really of.
I agree.
And you mentioned networking, right? And being able to build a strong network of professors, of friends, of people that you met. Do you mind elaborating a little bit more on the importance of networking and how that's helped?
Sure. Absolutely. So that's the thing, I think over time, you kind of get to understand the importance of just connecting with. But at the time, it was merely friends and so forth and so on. But even in college, I remember I graduated with like a 3.8 GPA. And yeah, it was hard work because I actually worked full time at the same time. So I worked full time and I attended college full time. So I remember just having these professors who just really believed in you, and that really kind of encouraged you to not just do well. But then I remember having one professor and he would recommend me for all these great things. I remember just going down on Wall Street with, all the economics students and, all the other accounting students. It was just a great feel to, be able to learn, to see the real world, real world scenario, being down there on the floor, on the trading floor,
Mm.
and to this day, I still keep touch with that professor. And it's just phenomenal. Again, you don't realize at the time that this is your network that you're building, but it's just very important to be able to connect with people. Sometimes you don't have to start from the bottom, just being able to, you want something even at work, if you want a particular task that you have to accomplish, and depending on who you're connecting with, it's easy to get the job done. It's
Yeah.
easy to go from point A to point Z because you're halfway into it, because now you know who to call. You have someone who you could call to, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, kind of a thing, kind of point you in the right direction, or kind of give you some advice, or because they've done it before, so you don't have to start from the ground or from the bottom. So it's just really important. And I did not know the value of this, in the beginning, but now, I really see the value in really connecting with and maintaining great relationships.
Right. So you said something that I think was really impactful throughout that, your explanation of networking. And it was along the lines of, you don't realize that this is a network you're building at the
Yeah,
time when you're just
yeah,
having conversations, just
absolutely.
kind of being yourself. If you're,
Yeah,
a person who's maybe charismatic or connect with people. So kind of the skill of being able to recognize the people that have helped you along the way, and then going back and saying, oh, I don't have to start from the bottom. I've built all these great relationships just in my daily day to day. How do I use these people to help me go forward? And right, you shared some of your personal experience and getting real world experience on Wall Street. And I'm wondering if you're willing to reflect a little bit on your time working full time and being in school full time for anyone who's thinking about or having to do the same thing. A lot of students are intimidated by having to finance yourself, but also study.
yeah,
But you're a testament to the fact that it's doable.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, sure. So, how I look at it, it really is that it's all about what you want. And you kind of made a great point about using available resources, which is that you don't have to go to a state college or some private university, and spend a whole lot of money. I don't have any student debt right now, and it really is all about, again, looking at what it is that you want to do. So I kind of looked at Queens College. I heard that they had a great accounting program, and I know that that's what I wanted to do. So I looked into Queens College, and I know I had to fund my own education. So I
Yeah.
looked at, yes, I looked at, okay, so, this is doable, whether it is that, I'm partially funded by student loans, or whether it is I'm 100% self-funded. I just looked at what it is that is manageable. And again, it's all about your interests and your personal goals and aspirations. So for me, it was not hard, but it wasn't easy either. Why? Because I have a mindset. My mind was made up that I was going to go to college for 4 years.
Mm.
And even though I was working full time, it wasn't going to be beyond that. It was going to be 4 years. So I kind of
Yeah.
had that, yeah, I had that 4 years mentality going in. So that was the first thing that kind of helped me that was like half the battle for me.
Mhm.
So just going in with a made up mind. And then from day to day, it wasn't easy because of course it really is about, it really is about setting goals and managing your time very well. So
Okay.
setting goals really means that, okay, you want to graduate in 4 years, then 4 years, you have to break that down into 48 months,
Mhm.
right? And then you break those 48 months down into weeks or semesters or what have you. And then you kind of take it at that level. So at this semester, you kind of tell yourself, okay, I want to, I have to, in order for me to graduate in 4 years, then I have to do 5 classes. And I have
Yeah.
to do 5 classes. And then you set other goals as well. Like for me, I always wanted to, at minimum, get an A-. So you set those goals and then you kind of work on it day by day. So you put in the time, an exam's coming up or what have you. You have a presentation, you kind of manage your time to achieve those monthly goals, those semester goals. And then ultimately, before you know it, a year's passed, you're already, you're a sophomore, you're a junior. And before you know it, you're graduating with a 3.8 GPA and you did it.
Yeah.
You
You
did
made
it. So,
it,
yeah,
right? But we're not without some very key skills, right? So time management, uh,
absolutely.
kind of self-discipline, right? And sticking to
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
goals that you set for yourself.
Yes.
And with that, I would like to ask you if there's any resources or other pieces of advice you would want to share for students in terms of time management skills, maybe goal setting activities or anything like that, and how to kind of keep yourself on track when you have a lot of things you're dealing with and it could
Yeah.
be stressful, very hard. Obviously, it takes a lot of
Yeah.
hard work.
Yeah.
So what advice and resources would you provide?
Yeah, sure. So again, I think it's time management has always been the key for me. And time management meaning that you have to be realistic, set first things you're setting goals. So you have to be like realistic in your goal setting and also in your timing, right? So there are only 24 hours in a day. You sleep 8, that leaves you with about 16, right? And then there are other, things that you do. If you're commuting, it takes away 2 hours. You're working with 14, and then you might have to, work an 8-hour job. It takes away another 8. You're left with about 6,
Yeah.
and then you have school. So it's all about being realistic. I remember even studying when I'm a CPA also. So I remember even studying for the exams, and I literally had to literally get on the train each morning, and that 45 minutes commute was my 45-minute study time back and forth each day. So it really is about looking at your day, looking at your time, and really carving out where it is that where can I accomplish, and then just being really realistic. Don't set goals that it's going to, or don't set your goals where in order for you to take the first step, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Kind of let it kind of be a part of your routine, a part of your day, right? So you get up in the mornings, and like I said, if it's half hour that you're traveling, on a train or on a bus or what have you, that could be some time that you're using to get you to where you're going.
Mhm.
So it really is about being realistic in setting your goals, and then secondly, really really taking the time out to analyze your day, analyze your time, and see um, how it is that you can achieve these goals that you're setting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some important pieces in there, right? So, one being realistic and not biting off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
But that entails you having understanding of yourself and what you're capable of,
Yeah.
um, what you're interested in, your intellect, and
Yeah.
what it is you actually want to do. That's really powerful, and it's something that I know a lot of young people are dealing with as they have busy schedules and they have probably very high goals and they may be overachievers in slight senses, but not saying it's not realistic, right?
Yeah.
You have to be able to find the time to do it in a way that's kind of seamless, as you mentioned, and
Mhm.
not
Absolutely.
forcing yourself to do it, but adopting it as a part of your routine, part of who you are. And eventually you graduate with a 3.8 GPA, you become a CPA, you get a full-time job at Merck, and you're successful. So Stacy, I want to thank you again for taking the time to share that insight. It's very, very useful. We say your time is one of the most valuable things you can give. So we really do appreciate you here at Junior Achievement, and we look forward to talking with you in the future.
Same here, Johnny. Thank you so much.
All right.